$40,000 between a credit card or two, a car loan, a medical bill from a hard season, and maybe a personal loan you took out just to keep things together. $40,000 is not a shocking number for a lot of midwife women right now. It just happens to be the number nobody says out loud. So here's my question. If you woke up tomorrow and that was your reality, $40,000 in debt, starting from zero, what would you actually do first? Not the obvious stuff, not the make a budget, the actual plan, in order, starting with the step most people skip entirely. That's what we're talking about today. Hi, my friend. Welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Sarah. I'm a certified financial coach, and I help midlife women stop spending on the life they were sold and start saving for the one that they actually want. Subscribe if that sounds like you. My newsletter and my book, Fundamentally Frugal, are linked below. Now, 6 steps. Let's go. Step 1, write down every dollar you owe. Write it all down, not just the big ones, all of it. I want you to sit down, not when you're exhausted, not right after work, when you're calm and well rested, and write out every lender, every balance, every interest rate, and every minimum payment. One list in one place. And I already know what happens when most people try to do this. They get to line 3 or 4, they close the laptop, or they just push it to the weekend, and the weekend never comes. Here's the thing. The number doesn't get smaller because you're not looking at it. This list is not a punishment. It's your starting line. You only have to write it once. Then you're just updating it. So many women I work with are carrying debt that they can barely name. They have a rough sense of what's out there, but they've never looked at it all in one place. And that mental fog, it costs more than the debt itself, because you cannot make a plan for something you're pretending doesn't exist. Write it down. That's day 1. Step 2, pick one target and ignore the rest. Pick just one account and ignore everything else. This is the step that changes everything and the one most people skip. You're not going to pay off $40,000. That's not the goal. The goal is to pay off one account, then the next, and then the one after that. And I'll tell you exactly which one to start with. The smallest balance you have. Not the highest interest rate. Not the most terrifying one. The smallest. Here's why. When you make that final payment and close that first account, something shifts. You feel it. That I actually did this feeling is not a small thing. It's the thing that keeps you going when the bigger balances feel impossible. This is called the debt snowball, and I teach it because it works. Not because the math is perfect, but because you are not a math problem. You are a human being who needs to feel proud of your progress, who needs momentum, who needs a win. Pick your smallest balance. That's your target. Everything else gets the minimum until it's gone. Now, I know the next question you're asking. Where does the extra money even come from? Step 3, find your attack money. And I want you to think small here. Not a side hustle, not a dramatic overhaul, the quiet leaks, the subscription that auto-renewed months ago that you forgot about, the convenience spending that happens out of exhaustion, not intention, the grocery run that happens before you check what's already in the freezer, and I see you, Costco trip that turned into 3 dinners and a pile of produce that went bad before Tuesday. Even $60 or $80 a month redirected consistently to your target account changes that math significantly. As a matter of fact, $75 a month in extra payments on 24% interest credit card doesn't just chip away at the balance. It cuts years off the payment timeline, not months, years. The attack money doesn't have to be overly dramatic. It doesn't have to hurt. It just has to show up every single payday without negotiation. Because the plan only works if the extra payment is automatic, not a decision you remake every month. A quick pause, because I know some of you are already doing the math in your head and second guessing every number. Which subscription, which grocery habit, which bill do I actually cut? And then instead of deciding, you just spiral. That is exactly what the Money Decision Reset Workshop is designed to fix. It's a 30-minute guided training that walks you through how to make a confident money decision without the research loop, without the second guessing and without lying awake wondering if you got it wrong. The link is below. Now, step 4. Step 4, debt-proof the routine. Debt-proof the plan before life breaks it. This is the part nobody wants to talk about because it's not optimistic, it's realistic. Life is going to happen whether you're paying off debt or not. The car will need something. The medical bill will show up at the worst possible moment. And if you haven't thought about this ahead of time, that is exactly when people abandon the entire plan. So here's what I would do. Decide in advance what the rule is when life hits. If the unexpected expense is under a set amount, I cover it from the sinking funds I've already built. If it's bigger, I pause all extra payments for 1 month, handle it, and then resume. I do not go back to the credit card. That last one is non-negotiable because the most common way women end up back at zero is not that they stopped caring. It's that they didn't have a rule for the hard months, and so the default was the credit card. Decide the rule now, when you're calm and clear-headed, not in the middle of a crisis when exhausted you is making financial decisions. Step 5, track momentum, not math. This one is the one I wish someone had told me a lot earlier. Stop tracking the balance and track the streak. Here's what nobody tells you about the middle of a debt payoff. The balance barely moves in the early months. The interest is eating most of your payment. It feels like you're doing everything right and nothing is happening. This is exactly where most people quit. Not because they can't do it, because they're measuring the wrong thing. So instead of watching the balance, track 2 things. First, how many consecutive paydays did you make your target payment? That's your streak. Second, how much have you already paid toward this debt since you started? Not what's left, what you've already sent. That number goes up every single month, even when the balance feels stuck. $5 or $6 doesn't feel like much until it's been 18 months of consistent payments and you've ever so subtly moved $4,000 in the right direction. It doesn't feel like much until it is. This is one of those habits that doesn't feel like it's working until suddenly it has. The habits that really move the needle are usually the least exciting ones. That's the win. Now, step 6 is the one that doesn't show up on a spreadsheet. Step 6, change the story. And it might be the most important step of all. Change the story you're telling about yourself. A lot of women carry a story about money that sounds something like this. I've always been like this. I'm just not good at money. I don't know how I let it get this far. And I want to say this gently but clearly. That story is part of the problem. Not because you should pretend the debt isn't real, but because as long as that story is running the background, every plan, every system, every payday routine has to fight against it. That is exhausting. And most people never realize that's what's happening. You have debt because you're human and life is expensive, and sometimes the card was the only option that existed at the time. That's it. The decision to face it, to write down every number, make a plan, and show up consistently, that is the identity of someone who's good with money. Not the balance, the behavior. Now, I know this sounds like the soft step, the inspirational part at the end that people fast forward through, but here's what I've actually seen with real women going through this. The ones who change the internal story first move faster. Not because they're more disciplined, but because they stop spending energy fighting themselves. The personal finance industry will sell you another system, another app, another spreadsheet. But no system works for a woman who doesn't yet believe she's the kind of person who can follow it. Change the story. The rest gets easier. And that's really the takeaway. Here are your 6 steps again. Write it down. Pick one target. Find your attack money, debt-proof the plan, track the streak, not the balance, and change the story. And tell me in the comments which one of these 6 steps is the hardest one for you right now. I'll read every single one. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please watch this video next.